Okay, you've opened up the spreadsheet. The top line here is your column headers. You can scroll around using the scroll bar, just like a web page, scroll from side to side. Or you can click in the data and just scroll with your trackpad or your mouse wheel or whatever you have. But the first irritating thing is when you scroll down, that header row disappears. So that's the first thing we're going to fix, is freeze that into place. So click on this 2 over here. That's going to highlight entire row 2. Go under Window, Freeze Panes. That's going to freeze right above this line. And now when you scroll down, the top row is frozen into place. The other ones just kind of slide underneath it or something. They're still there. They're just, you can scroll down and see more of the header and keep the headers in place here. The next irritating thing is that you can't read these long titles and names. So let's widen these columns. Hover up here between the letters till you get this little two-sided arrow and click, drag it as wide as you'd like. Okay, now you can read it better. So the first thing we're going to do, obviously, is we want to see the highest paid state employee. So we're going to sort by salary. So we've clicked somewhere in the data, anywhere, it doesn't matter. Go under Data, Sort. Make sure My List Has Headers is checked, that or something like it. That just means that it knows the top row is titles. It's not going to consider them part of the data. So we want to go by salary, and we want it to sort from largest to smallest. Okay, give it a second because it's a big data set. And it looks like number 1 is the executive director of the Ports Authority. You can click and scroll around here and see what you like. I think the broad takeaway is that leadership at universities gets paid a lot. But let's say we just want to look at salaries, say, in the governor's office. We're going to filter the data. So go back up here to Data, Filter. See, it gives us these little drop-down menus. I'm going to widen this a little bit. Let's let that drop down. We'll make it a little bigger so we can see it. We're going to unselect all of them and just scroll down to the governor's office and see what people there make. So just click Governor. That's the only one we want to see. X that out. And here's all the staff at the governor's office. And it's still sorted by salary. Let's see, but where's Deal himself? We can do a find. It's up here on my version of it. You can also do Command F or whatever the command is for your version of Excel or whatever you're using. It's usually Command F. So let's see, search and sheet for Deal. And there he is, John Deal. And there's a salary. All right. Let's get rid of that filter. Let's just click back down there and say Clear Filter. So that takes us back to looking at the whole data set. When you filter, you're not deleting the records or anything. You're just kind of pushing them out of the way for a second. Let's see here. Oh, then of course the next thing we want to see is who's the highest paid coach in the state. So under Title, let's filter in there. Let's search just for people with the title Coach. Assistant athletic coach, coach. All right. Here we go. Yes. There they are. Here's the UGA football coach, and here's the first reason you always have to take this data with a grain of salt. His salary is more than this, but this data set only covers fiscal year 2016, the year that ended in June 2016. So that doesn't represent an entire 12 months for him. This is a partial year for him. So that's, something you'd have to have reporter skill to know about. All right, let's see here. Let's get rid of these coaches. We're gonna just clear that filter again. So we can browse around a lot. We can look at different kind of. Let's see what executive directors make. Whoops, executive director. All right. This is, going to be some of your top state leadership. You can scroll through, see where they work, see if anything, jumps out at you here. Let's clear that filter again. Let's sort by salary the other way. Let's see who's the lowest paid state employee. Data, sort, salary. You can also do smallest to largest. Now, some of these people have negative salaries. I have to say, I don't know the explanation for that offhand. It could be data entry error. I have no idea. But yeah, there's some people for whatever reason show negative salary. There's some people whose salary is zero because, oops, pardon me. A lot of board members, yeah, they're just not paid. It's a kind of a volunteer job. And let's see here. Oh, let's go down. Well, let's sort by salary again. Data, sort, salary, largest to smallest. Let's go down to the end of this data sheet. Don't do it by just scrolling like this, because it's going to take a long time. Probably every version of Excel or Numbers or Google Sheets or whatever you're on has a different kind of shortcut for this, but there's always going to be a keyboard shortcut for getting to the very end of the data set that you can do without scrolling the whole way. On my computer, it happens to be function control right arrow, but your mileage may differ. But anyway, that takes us to the last record, and we see we have 207,573 people we're dealing with here. And that, down here it also gives us a little bonus. Here's the sum of this column. That's the entire payroll here. So that's it for our introduction.